A very pleasant good day, my beloved brothers and sisters in Christ and outside the body of Christ. Well, once again, this is your Christian brother, Eric Roxon. Happy to join you on this day to share this very important teaching with you all, brothers and sisters, about the true reality of things. Because I'm dealing with the creation of God, the wonderful animals. This is a part two, as I continue teaching you all about the wonderful animals that God created and is in existence for one and all to behold them and see them, and also to play with them and appreciate them, the animals. Although we just kill them and eat them, the animals that is for human consumption, God instructs us to kill them for human consumption, to eat them. We're not committing no sin there. Now, there's a certain way of killing animals, and there's a certain way there's a certain way going about killing animals that will not be a sin, and there's a certain way killing animals that will be a sin. Classic example. If there is in a house one set of rats, and they infest the house, you could kill the rats, all of them. That is not a sin. But if you leave your home and you go in the bush, and there's one set of rats there, they're not interfering with you, they're not in your home, they're living by themselves in the wilderness. You go on there to kill the rats. That is a sin. Leave them and go your way. If there's in a house, the house is infested with ants, you could kill the ants. That is not a sin. But if you go in the bush and see the ants, and you start just killing all the ants, that is a sin. Leave the ants and go your way. And apply the principle across the board. If you go in the sea to catch fish, you catch fish for human consumption to eat. But if you go in the sea just catching fish, and when they come you're starving it with a knife and killing all of them, that is a sin. Apply the same principle across the board with the animals. You all understand it now? Right. So if you go in the house and there's cockroach, you get rid of the cockroach, spraying them and killing them. That is not a sin. But if you go in the bush and there's one set of cockroach in the trees, the cockroach are living in the trees. Where you going and kill the cockroach, or leave them and go your way? If you kill the cockroach in the tree, that is a sin. That's the difference, lady. Apply the same principles across the board. You all get it now? Right, let us move to the next level now. All right, thanks, Sandra. Yes, brothers and sisters, what I'm going to say is very important. Don't you know, I said I will drop a bombshell. I already repaired the bomb, and I tend to shoot out that bombshell in this teaching, bombshell teaching, and drop it. But I advise you all to wait until the dust is clear, so that you all could see all the way after. Because you know, normally when you drop a bomb, the dust and everything, there's whole place cloudy, and we have to wait until the dust is settled, as they say. Which is true, which is a fact. So when I drop this bombshell, that's as it does the settle. I want this teaching to settle in all your heart, mind, and soul, and let it stay there forevermore. Because at the end of the day, it is the truth. I want to draw a classical example. I know, well, I'm not going to insult all the angels that God created. I am not using this example to insult the angels that God created. This applies to them, and it applies to we. And this example that I'm going to use, I am not going to insult the human family. So any angels in their mind thinking that I am using this example to insult all the angels, that the angels have it wrong. He's missing the point. You didn't hear what I say, that the angels have it wrong, and he's missing the point. And if any man, the same way like the angels think that I using this example to insult the human family, that man or that woman, they also missing the point, just as the angels. So get that message loud and clear to one and all and sundry. Classic example, I have to use numbers because this is a number, not a number game. Not a number game. I'm not pulling out no numbers to play no number game, but the numbers facts. I am pulling out the numbers, not to play no number games, or to sell the angels that God created or man. But the number facts, and here's the number facts, ladies and gentlemen, but I have to use a classical example to apply to the angels and mankind and to the animals. Let us say now. I just know this is as my this I just know how much angels God created, so I have to use a number, and I don't want to use a small number. I want to use a big figure because you know the angels and them is a multitude. They're running in the millions. I hear some they say they're running in the billions. So you see, it's a big number to use. Yes, but I'm not using a number in a million, neither the billion. I tend to stick with the trillion mark. The trillion mark. So little Christian boy Eric Braxton in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, that is in the blue Caribbean Sea. I'm sticking with the trillion mark, ladies and gentlemen. Let us say that God create 100 trillion angels, and let us say in the human family, from the day God created Adam till when the human family procreation will stop amongst mankind in the future. Let us say in all the human beings that born and come in the world, let us say 10 trillion human beings came in the world and all. But keep in mind, 100 trillion angels, I start with the angels there, but amongst mankind, let us say from the day God created Adam till procreation stop amongst the human family, let us say 10 trillion human beings was born in the world and die. Born and live, those who live and those who die. And that is quite a great number. Yes, 10 trillions amongst mankind, they plenty. And 100 trillion angels, they plenty. But I want to tell you all something now. Amongst the animals all over the world, they gone over the 100 trillion already, and they bypassed it. They gone over the 100 trillion. They gone over the 100 trillion figures in procreation already. And so if they gone over the 100 trillion in procreation alone, they bypass the angels. Remember, it's only 10 trillion amongst man. Like plenty, they already bypassed that already. What am I trying to prove? What I'm really teaching? I'm trying, but then I say the angels, the animals are the children of God. They are the animal children of God. So what I'm trying to show you, in right now, from the day God created all the animals, that's in 1,000 years. No, I come in with a very serious facts now. This is a bombshell now. From the day God created all the animals, in 1,000 years, the animals, all the animals in procreation. But I'm not dealing with all the animals. I'm dealing with specific animals, and I'm dealing with the ants and the butchocks. All the species are ants, and all the species are butchock. That's amongst them themselves. They have reproduced and procreated amongst themselves over 100 trillion are already. That's in 1,000 years from the day that God created them. So in all the ants, in 1,000 years, they done pass 100 trillion angels amongst them procreating, and all these species are ants and all these species are butchock. Because that's in the continent of Africa alone. Amount of ants that are there. I remember one state in Africa, how big Tanzania is, how big South Africa is, how big Botswana is, and in all these states have ants. So in each state, the ants they producing and multiplying in the billions and in the trillions, and apply that to the 45 states of Africa. And I even touch the Caribbean, South America, yes. I even touch Asia and the Middle East, yes. That's on the continent of Africa. Am I trying to be funny? No, that's a reality, and that's the facts. You understand? You see? You see? You see? You see? I'm here talking about the rest of the nation, other countries as yet. That's in the continent of Africa alone. All these species are butchock, they don't multiply themselves. That's in 1,000 years. Then they don't go over the 100 trillion. And God know the figure. We human beings can know that. You think I expect me, how I go start to count all them ants, all them in 1,000 years? I not even 100 years, yes. I don't know how much ants come there, but I know they gone over 100 trillion of them already. I mean, you mentioned the other parts of the world. Yeah, yeah, I finish it now, Sandra. I finish it now. So you see how much of them come in existence and continue to come in existence up to this very day? That's amongst the ants alone. You see what I'm trying to show you, son? You see what I'm trying to show you? What I'm trying to prove? So what is the reason for using that example? That example is simple C. To show you simple C. God the Father and Jesus Christ. But they not insulting no one when they say that neither. Because look, I saying it and I insulting no mankind, neither the angels that God create. Because when procreation stop amongst the human family, God will able to give the figure because He know the figure. God will able to say, you know, in all the human beings that I created from Adam till procreation stopped, in all 20 trillion came into existence. And all the angels that I've created, 100 trillion angels, was 100 trillion angels because I haven't created no new one. But these little creatures down there, in 1,000 years, they went over the 100 trillion. And they went over, so if they went over the 100 trillions, multiplying amongst themselves, then they bypass the 20 trillion, the 20 trillion of human beings. And that is only in 1,000 years, much less for the 2,000 years. Oh my God, then more them again. You know what God will say? God the Father and Jesus Christ, look how much of my little animal children I have. And God is not doing that to insult none of the angels, neither mankind. It's a facts He's stating, and I also stated the facts. Because when you analyze it, you will see it's the truth. This is not something I'm making up. So all those who vex, but I teaching it, that's them. I stating the facts. They have to learn to appreciate what I do in here. That's the facts of the matter. You understand? And all of those who want to give me cocky eye and dislike what I say, they can't change the reality. That's a fact. That's a fact. God will always say, look, but amongst my little children, in all these species of ants and bachak, I had them in South America and all these things, But you see those in South America, I decided to leave them out and not to give the numbers down there. I only choose only the continent Africa to show you the bypass 100 trillion. And I leave out the Middle East, I leave out South Africa, I leave out the whole, I leave out the Middle East, I leave out all of the South and Latin American country, and I leave out all the North America and all the European countries I leave out. Up there are trillions of them up there, but I decided to mention them. God said, this is an example, God said I only choose the continent of Africa to mention how much was the, and they gone over the 100 trillions. So you see how much I have there, how much I have in Brazil, how much I have in Middle East, how much I have in the West Indies. You see how much trillions and trillions and hundred of trillions and hundred of trillions, and they might run in the billions of trillions too. And God will say, you see how much of them? You see how much of them? You see how much of them they have produced amongst themselves? Okay, to be more frank, that's in the continent of Africa, 1 billion trillion. But I haven't created, but God is saying now, I haven't created 1 billion angels, but amongst them, they produce 1 billion trillion amongst themselves. And God is saying, look, I start from Adam and Eve, and I end procreation, and not 1 billion human beings, not 1 billion trillion of human beings come, but amongst the ants in Africa alone, 1 billion trillions come. You see how much amongst them? Or you could get vexed with me how much all you want. That's the facts of the matter when all you do the maths. I have done the maths and do the calculation and given you all the answer. God know this maths before me because he don't know that maths. The day he created, he know they will produce that figure. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So what I'm using this example? To insult God angels? No. Am I using this figure to insult the human family? No. I'm just simply showing you amongst the animals, you have more children amongst the animals than the angels and mankind. Now I'm being more frank now. I use that example to show you that God has more children, animal children, amongst the angels and amongst mankind. You all could be how vexed all you want with me. That's the facts on the matter when all you could do the maths. And anybody could do that maths. But God know that maths before any human being come upon this earth. Because you know when he created them, that is exactly the number they will produce. So and I mentioned the elephant and all of them is just children. But I'm only dealing with the species of ants and badger. That's in the continents of Africa alone. How much they produce in all. In 2,000 years, they have produced more than 100, more than 1,000 bill, and more than 1,000 trillion amongst themselves. And 3,000, that's in 2,000 years. 4,000 years have passed, so you tell it more, how much more they have produced. And remember, they're living and breathing and procreating amongst themselves. That's a big figure. Mm-hmm. 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 So once again, before I end this video, God have more animal children more than the angels, and God will have more animal children more than the human beings upon this earth. You all forget how vexed all you want with me. I want to behead me and take off my neck? Well, go ahead now. All you want to do that. Look how he insulted mankind. Oh, look how he's insulting the angels. He really make this video, boy. Like he make this video to insult the angels. To criticize the angels. To put them in a bad state. No. Or he make these angels to insult this video to insult the human family. To put us in a bad position. That's all they're thinking. They'll think that way now. All they're thinking wrong. I'm stating the facts how the matter is. And God know that facts before he create mankind. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 God will say, I create I remember I give a specific number. I don't know how much angels God create, but I use a physics number. And I don't know how much human beings will born or come in this world till God create and procreation. But I still give a figure number. And I give a low number. I give a big number. 100 trillion angels and 10 trillion human beings. That is a big number. Okay, I want to add a little extension amongst the human family. 20 trillion. Plenty human beings still. Okay, I'll step up to 50 trillion people amongst the human family that born and come in this world till he stop procreation. 50 trillion. So I add a little figure again. 50 trillion. Well, them on the continents of Africa bypass that. Bypass a billion trillion of them. And God will say, I haven't created a billion trillion. I haven't created a billion trillion angels. But you see, a billion trillions of them and more. And them is only in the continents of Africa alone. And God will say, in all the human beings that born till I have any procreation amongst mankind, not even a billion, not even 100 trillion human beings come upon this earth. But you see how much of them in 2,000 years alone? A billion trillions of them. And 2,000 years have passed. 4,000 years have passed. So that is more. And I only dealing with the continent of Africa with that number. I touch the other nations alone. All the rest of the other nations, God leave them out. He decided not to add them. But he know the number where all of them together. That's our next big figure on top of it too. But we only dealing with the 45 countries in Africa. 100, 1,000 billion, 1,000 trillion, a billion trillion of them. A billion trillion of them, you know. Uh-huh. In 4,000 years' time. And we already passed the 4,000 years and only dealing with one location in the 45 countries of Africa. Am I trying to be funny? Okay. Well, let's see how much all you want and swelling up all your face. How much all you want against the Roxanne? That's how it is. God will say, look, I've created a trillion angels, but amongst them, they have come up more than a trillion angels. They are running in the billions, a trillion, a billion trillion, a billion trillion and more. God will say from the end, I create mankind, to the end procreation amongst the human family, they bypass the human family. And all the number from the day I create mankind till I stop procreation, let us say 20, 50 trillion of human beings come on the earth. Well, God said, these fellas, these little ants, my little ants, children, the Batchak and the ants and all of them on the continent of Africa alone, because it have others, but I decided to mention them. These are big figures, just like them in Africa too, but I only mentioning them here. In the 45 states of Africa, 100, a billion trillion, billion trillion of them have produced themselves in 4,000 years. And we already passed 4,000 years, you know. So God will say, you see amongst my little animal children, they gone over the numbers of the angels. And God will say, you see amongst my little animal children, the Batchak and the ants, they have gone over the number of the human family. And I ended on that note. All you, one who pelts stone at me, to bust up my head and my face, and put me in a bad position, and say, Eric Braxton, you're talking about such a nonsensical foolishness, garbage. Or use one of the so-called charlatan, claiming to be some true Christian, but he's a charlatan. I'm a wolf in sheep clothing, and all these terms all will use at me. Okay, but all you do the maths now. All you do the maths and see that all will come into the same calculation that I have to give on. So all you do the maths. When all you do the maths and come to the answer, we will see, let me see if I will continue with the attitude or will have a change of mind. Because that is exactly the number they will be coming up to. That's on the continent of Africa alone, in the 45 countries that make up Africa. I didn't touch the Caribbean as yet. I didn't touch Latin and South America and North America. And the whole of the Middle East is left out. And the whole of Europe is mentioned. All they have Batchak and ants in the trillions, just like Africa. Well, God knows the number. All of them, know the nations of the earth. You see how much of them? You see how much of them? You see how much animal children God have? They bypass the angels and they will bypass mankind in the procreation state. They will bypass the angels in the procreation state and they will bypass mankind in the procreation and multiplication amongst themselves. All they doubt that? Again, all the hardcore facts. And that is not to insult the angels and not to insult mankind. Because I'm telling you, there's three types of children God have: the angels, the animals, and man. And amongst the animals, he have them more than the angels, and it will be he will have them more than the human family. All you doubt that, okay? Okay, all you doubt that, okay, keep on doubting. Okay, keep on fighting against this truth. Keep on fighting and opposing it, okay? Because since that all that the attitude all you have, the Pelstone, but when all the Pelstone against glass door and window is breaker, let's keep in mind and you get in trouble. But pelting stone and breaking up the people glass. I think this is a wooden house. All the pelt and the stone to fall back on the earth. This is glass window. Coming through the glass in the house, I heard the person And all will pay for damage when the police all and charge all you. And all go for the magistrate. And then all see glass all pelting stone out. Continue pelting stone. Alright. Against this teaching, this facts. By using that example for and all these things. What is my I have some sinister agenda plan. Alright. Watching all the attitude very well. Very good. Watching all the attitude. And the opposition that only putting up against these videos and these teachings that I'm putting out there. A lot of you all with that attitude. Ooh. Well, all do the maths. All do the maths. All do that. Do the maths. Do the maths. And the maths, I want to give all this some indication how to do the maths. Look at each country in Africa and see how big the landscape is, and see how much bacha can answer in one state. Look at the whole of Tanzania and see how big it is, and see how much ants and bachak is producing there. And look at the next state at Zambia and see how big it is, and see how much ants is producing there. And do that in all the 45 countries Africa. Then all they will recognize. Then you understand that all these ants producing amongst themselves is trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions, and they're running in the billions of trillions ants and bachaks. Well, that will then do the maths. Since all I want to doubt what I say and do it. Do it. And let me see if all come up with a different figure to what I come up with. Only thing all get 1,000 hands, 300 hands, a million hands, a billion hands. They bypass the 1,000, the million, and the billions. They are in the trillion range. Trillion. But I hear there's a next word, zillions. I think a zillion is, Michael, on a zillion is greater than a zillion. A zillion, no. A trillion on a zillion is more higher than a zillion is more higher than a trillion.
What?
Trillion, $1 zillion. It ain't like zillion. Well, trillion years, $1 trillion. So you see, they're running in the trillions and trillions and trillions. And keep in mind only them with the ants and the bachak, you know. Me ain't touching the elephants and the monkey and all of them. I leave all of them out. That's a Pacific animal creature dealing with. That's the ant and the bachak alone amongst themselves. Think about it. Then all you will see for yourself. I'm telling all of the truth. All also want to doubt. I say, what kind of silly, nonsensical foolishness he talking about? What ants and bachak and all that. Oh Lord Jesus Christ. Oh yes. And the number go bypass the angels, and the number go bypass mankind from the things he God create mankind till he stop procreation. Well, all doubt it, well prove it. Oh, well prove me wrong now. Yeah, prove that the number is wrong too. Although be surprised to see the astonishing number they will come up to. Yeah. Always see the astonishing number they will come up to. More than 1 billion trillion of them. That's in the continent of Africa alone. That's in 3,000 years. And we already crossed 3,000 years. So that will tell you, that I myself haven't given the full number. But I've given a certain number of them. And that is not even the full number. On the continent of Africa. It's more than that is what I mentioned in here. That is a low number I give. You all know how much is 1,000 years? 1,000 years alone. They might bypass that billion trillion of them in 1,000 years. So much as 2,000 years, much as 3,000 years. That's on the continent of Africa alone. How much of them have produced themselves amongst themselves? Now all they're understanding something now, how deep this thing is. Right. Keep on taking it. Getting more crystal clear to all you. Keep on getting it. Keep on catching it. Keep on understanding it. Keep on comprehending it. And appreciating it. Because that's the facts of the matter. And that's the reality, ladies and gentlemen, about that matter. What is up today, right? In no other name, but in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. God love all the wonderful animals that He have created. But before God created the animals, He loved all the angels that He created. So you see, this wasn't to insult the angels, because I come back before I bring the curtain down on this video and winding up time. You did hear what I say? God loved all the angels that He created before the animals that He bring into existence. God loved all the angels that He created before He created any animal into existence. He loved all the angels that He created. That will teach all their lesson that this video is not to insult the angels, neither mankind. And God loved all the angels, all the animals that He created before He created mankind. Adam and Eve on the 6th day, because He said, behold, everything that He created was very good. That included the animals too. That includes the animals too. And that includes the angels too. Yes. So you expect me to say He created the angels, but that was bad. But He created the animals, that is very good. And He created mankind, is very good. And all the things He created on the earth in Genesis is very good. But all the angels He created, that is very bad. That's what all you want me to say. Always the one who missing the screws in all the head. Always the one who becoming the widow. If all you want me to say that, all you have it wrong. God created all the angels very good. And I'm using the same text in Genesis. God created, behold, everything He created was very good. Well, behold, everything He created in heaven was very good. And that was the angels first. Now in heaven above, I'm dealing with earth now in Genesis. Behold, everything He created was very good. That's all the animals. And behold, everything He created was good. Mankind. All you get the message now, because He's the eternal good one, the Holy One of Israel, the mighty God of Jacob. Amen and amen. Shalom, peace. See you all in the next video soon. Bye-bye, my friends. So all that say, think I record this video to insult the angels and mankind. All you have it wrong. From day one, all you have it wrong. And that's why I'm teaching you all and correcting all you. Pelting stone at me and on the pelting stone against this video. But we'll go on the internet for people to see on Twitter. Let me see if all you pelt stone on Twitter now. YouTube, to see if they will take down this video from on my YouTube account. Pelt stone at them now. Call up the management at YouTube, the chief executive officer, the president of YouTube, and his executive council, his executive, and tell them to try to take off this video from YouTube. All they don't like it. See if they will listen to all you. They will appreciate this video, because when they examine it, they will know what Eric Braxton is saying is the truth. Let me see all you want the Pelstone of them update to the president of YouTube and his executive members that is on the board. Let me see Pelstone of them and tell them to take off this video when I put it on the World Wide Web. Pelstone of them too. They will welcome this video a full 100%. I know that. I know that. I know that. I know that. In other name, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, amen and amen. Shalom peace. See you all in the next video soon. Bye bye, my friend. That's the bombshell. And I know the dust is setting now. Or is all you seeing clearly now? Is this teaching fully set in all your heart, mind, and soul? All you now seeing the picture crystal clear? Right, keep on seeing that picture crystal clear. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, amen and amen.